miles away led to a complete reconsideration of safety for every nuclear plant in the world, even though there were almost no injuries. Just the attention that that brought to the most extreme events was enough to protect Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant in the middle of a war.
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
Add to that, Mark, no, or what I said in the beginning. This plant, had it been in Fukushima, would have meant that the event would not have happened at all because we're higher, we wouldn't have even gotten wet. The seismic design basis is 0.4 G versus 0.18 G. But you're right, even if actually this plant will even improve because of the events at Daiichi.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's another thing people don't understand about nuclear plants.
Ate, menu kinapos ba this month? Basta may valid ID at 10 minutes ka, may loan ka.
Don't understand about nuclear plants. Nuclear plants just sitting here, if they're operating, if they're active, they get better and better and better. Many types of power plants, many things in our life get worse and they wear out with age. Not Mark, but the rest of us do. Nuclear plants are not like that. Nuclear plants around the world tend to get better and better and better as they get older. They have higher uptime, better performance, lower operating costs, not higher operating costs. It's something that it's not, I wouldn't say it's absolutely unique to nuclear, but it's very unusual, and nuclear experiences almost everywhere in the world where nuclear plants are considered important and prized possessions, as it would be if it's turned on here in the Philippines. Yeah. Immediately, if the day this plant turns on, it would mean the Philippines moves into a different category of nations. Right. Those with nuclear power. Those countries with nuclear powers, they're just simply in a different category from the ones that don't. Yeah. It's the most sophisticated and powerful energy source in the world, and you won't be the same afterwards. You'll get a seat at different tables. That's another thing that will happen. The Philippines will be seen in a different light.
So you're saying more respected?
Oh yeah, completely. Respect is earned, and every country may tell you don't bother with a nuclear plant, but that's because once you turn it on, you will have extra respect because of it. Yeah. Your status, your rank in the world will change a bit. And not just because of the wealth the nuclear plant creates, it's just
the sophistication,
you
the
become
technical...
part of the members of countries who are sort of a brotherhood of nuclear operators, and it's now responsibility of the Philippines to help other countries operate nuclear plants well. That's the way nuclear safety works. It's everybody at the same time.
So this was mentioned as a defect because it's too low.
It's not too low.
Yeah, it should have been higher. I want to show you the annular space between the
inner lining,
the inner containment, which is a steel shell 1 inch thick. Yes, 1 inch thick, right? And the outer 1 meter thick concrete dome. So this is the concrete dome. There's a steel liner in there that's 1 inch thick. In between, there's an annular space which is connected to a filter system, which sucks. So this is always under a vacuum. Things can leak in, but they can't leak out because there's a vacuum in here. The pump that draws the vacuum passes through a filter system before being ejected. So if there's any radioactive material, it will be filtered before the air is evacuated. And nothing can leak up, it can only leak in. Okay, so that's containment. It's not one containment like my demonstration, the cacerola.
Well, you put the steel liner on.
It's concrete plus steel.
Mark?
Yes?
Which American officials have visited this plant?
NRC, I suppose, right?
Which diplomats, which politicians?
None.
None?
Yeah.
None.
Yeah, you should.
So they go blah, 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 relations, you know, security,
yeah.
shared interests, and they haven't been here.
No. Okay, anyway, I want you to observe this, no? This is the welding of the inner shell. This is 1 inch thick, 25 millimeter, 30 millimeter steel, okay? look at the welding, no? I challenge you to find welding as good as this anywhere in the Philippines. Okay, now, this welding in America, when they build the same plant, they do 20% X-ray inspection. But because this was built in the Philippines, we did 100% X-ray inspection. So this plant is arguably safer than any plant built in America. For the simple reason that they didn't trust us. So they double-checked. Right? Yun ang reactor. Yun. Takip lang to, takip.
Mark,
Hi.
I feel something. This feels similar to the tour of the AP1000 in Georgia.
Yeah, because this is the grandfather of the
A
AP1000.
difference is this feels more spacious and less crowded than the AP1000 does.
The
One of my
AP
big complaints about marketing language used to talk about nuclear plants is that if you were to hear the AP1000 boosters describe it, they say, oh, we save this much concrete, this much steel. And then I go through and I'm hitting my hard hat on things and I feel a little dizzy and claustrophobic.
Yeah.
That's worse working environment.
Yeah.
And you save almost no money. What's the point of a claim like that if it makes it worse?
Obsession with the marketing word. When they are loading or unloading fuel from the reactor, which is down there, you will be able to see it from there. No, this pool that you see here is full of water. The water is the shield from radiation of the exposed fuel assemblies. They will open the reactor, you will see the fuel will be taken out, but it's all underwater, right? After they finish the refueling, they close the reactor, everybody leaves here, they drain this water so that it's dry there, and then they start it up, right? The used fuel is brought here. You can come here and look at it here. Okay, there's a tunnel, a tube down there. They lie it down and then they pass it through. This is all underwater, huh? When they do that, they pass it through to the spent fuel hall next door. When this is running, that is also closed. So this place is completely contained from the outside world. Nothing here can go out. This crane is used for the refueling, lifting those things in and out of the reactor. There are 121 of them there. This is just the cover. We have 2 steam generators, that one and that one, no? The one I showed you in the drawing, this one, that generates the steam, right? Our plant hasn't seen a single neutron, so that is brand new.
It's a plant for operating past 2100.
Yes, this will go past next century because, it's already 2022. If this is activated, 80 years. Everything in the control room is serviceable from behind. You don't have...
This is behind the control.
Yeah, you don't have to dig out the controls. You can service it from behind, right? You don't need to... The wiring is all exposed. So it's easy to maintain, right? So here we are in the control room. And if you're an incoming shift, you cannot go straight in here. You have to stay there for 30 minutes. So that, and then you come in during your time, the other guy goes out. And shifts here are only 2 hours. Okay, so that's the end of our tour. And this is being wasted. Wasted. In spite of a power crisis, we are wasting this.